Welcome. My name is Clark Haskins and I'm a software consultant with Edge Information Management Solutions. Today I want to introduce you to Alerts and Workflow by showing you how an alert works. Alerts and Workflow is a business activity monitoring program that mines your existing data for information critical to your business and bring these issues to a forefront, a smoke detector for your business. Today we're going to create an alert to identify all orders with freight value over $150. We want to be notified at the end of each day of any order entered on that day with the freight exceeding that value. To do so, we'll begin from the Event Manager. We're going to expand the chart for the All Events branch. We're going to go to our training application and expand that. And then we're going to go to Query Definitions to create the query that we wish to use for this event. To do so, we're going to highlight the query and right-click and select New. To create a query, we first need a description. That description will go to the display description as well. We're going to make this query active. We're going to select the tables that we wish to use for this event. Those tables will be the customers table, the orders table, and the sales rep table. Now, because we have multiple tables, we must link those by common fields. We'll move between tabs by either selecting Next or clicking on that specific tab. In this case, we'll click Next. Since we selected more than one table, we also must select a table or identify a table that is our primary table. That is the table where the query is based on. So in this case, because it's freights on orders, our primary table will be the orders table. We're going to select Add Table Link. Select our table name, so the primary table goes first, orders, and then the link to table is customers. The common column name will be customer ID as it appears in both tables, and we'll link the data together. Our link type for this query and most queries is the left outer join. We'll select OK. Now we'll add another table link so that we can link the orders table to the sales rep table. And our common column will be employee ID, which is the same as the sales rep ID or sales rep identifier. Again, left outer join, we'll select OK. Next, we go to the Columns tab. It is here that we select the columns or the fields that will appear in our notification. Now we need to select all columns here that we want to be available for our event, even if it will not appear in the event. So for example, if we're using a column for a calculation, we must select that column. Now in this case, we're going to select the company name from the Customer tab. We can either do that by highlighting and selecting Add Column to Query, or for the next column we wish to add, which would be the Freight column from the Orders table, we can do the same thing by double-clicking it. We're going to select the Order ID, and then we're going to select the total. Now, for this purposes, we also want to show you that you can create a calculated value, and to do so, we're going to add calculated column to the query. We're going to do a calculation to get the order total by adding the freight column and then putting a space and the plus sign for addition to the total column. Select OK, and now we're going to change the name under the Customize Name column to Calc Order Total. Now with all tables, with all queries, we must select a unique field, and this is that, or a unique column, and this is that column that differentiates that table so that you know what that key differentiator is. In this case, that would be the order ID. We're going to sort this query by the freight column, and we're going to change our sort direction to descending order. Our filter is going to be on the order freight column. Add that. Remember, we want query for freight values greater than $150 and its type number. Now we want to be able to use this query in more than one case, so we want to have options. We can do so by making the compare value a variable by entering a question mark here and then tabbing over to the optional prompt. We type enter freight value to report on. Click Next. Now we don't use a subfilter. If you wish to see the SQL used for this query, or the SQL that was created by this query, it's here. It's not recommended that this be edited. And lastly, we can see a preview of this query by selecting the Preview tab. First thing it's going to do is to ask us to enter the value to report on. So we want over $150. We select OK and see that this query will return 3 lines listing the company name, the freight value, the order ID, the total, and the calculated order total. At this stage, we don't have to worry about the order of appearance of each column of data. Now we're going to save this query. Next, we must create our event. To do so, we select the event, right-click, and select New. From the event, we enter the event description. So this will be orders, excessive freight over $150. The lookup key is optional. The priority, this takes a lower priority because there's no urgency to getting this information compared to other alerts. We're going to select this as active. Remember the unique ID that we selected, which was the order ID, the unique field. We do not want to receive the same an alert for the same order. Once we receive an alert, we do not wish to get another alert for that order. Therefore, we don't want the repeat notification for triggered items selected. And all of the data from the alert is stored within the program in its database. So we only want to keep the last checked record. We'll select that. Next, we go to the Queries tab and we add the query that we just created, which was orders, excessive freight. Select. And once we do that, we see event triggered parameters. We want to enter the freight value to report on, so we want it greater than 150. The format in which we're going to send this information is via email. So we've got our email account. We'll send from our Exchange Online. We don't necessarily need an email reply address. The email message for this alert is going to read orders with freight greater than $50. And then our message text will be the following: orders have a freight value greater than $150. dollars. Forgot the dollar sign there. Now we'll enter the column names, customer colon, order number. As you can see, it's a different format than we created in our query. Now once we have our column name selected, what we need to do now is add the values to go into the message. So first the customer will be the company name. Our order number is the order ID. Our freight amount is freight. Our order amount is total. And our order total amount is calculate order total. Now, as it stands now, this event will send one email per order entered. And what we want to see is one email showing all orders entered on the selected day that the freight value exceeded $150. So to do that, we go to the bottom, we add the begin repeat command, and then we go to the bottom of our text, and we add the end repeat. This tells the system this is the area that it starts, you populate the data, once you reach the end, you go back to the top and look for additional data. Alright, so that's the message that we're going to send. Now we need to select who we send that to. We'll click on subscribers. We'll add a subscriber from the customer service team, and we'll send it to Clark Haskins. We'll add this subscriber. Next, we'll select schedule. Now we want this to be run at the end of the day. So daily at 5 p.m. So scheduling information shows the frequency is daily at 5 p.m. on days Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and listing all the months of the year. Now this completes our event. We're going to save and close. Now we want to run this event right now to ensure that it worked. So I just expanded the events branch. I'm scrolling down to our alert, orders excessive freight over $150. I'm going to right click on that. I'm going to schedule this event now and confirm, and the event has been run immediately. Now within alerts and workflows, I can go verify that this event was run by going to the monitor. At the monitor, I select application events. Checked today, that's showing that the training application was our database and we run excessive orders, and I want to verify that it was triggered today, which shows training application, excessive freight, and then we want to go to email delivery and see that it was delivered today, and you'll see that yes, it was delivered today. Let's go to our email and see what this looked like. So you can see we've got basic information telling us the customer name, the order number, the freight amount, the order amount, and the order total amount. Now you'll notice that we don't have any formatting in this, which is very quick to correct. So we go back to our alert itself, we find our alert, we double click on it, we go to the email at the end of the values and before the parameter at the end of the field name, we type in the $. Now because we selected from the description that we do not want to repeat notifications for triggered items, we want to look at the track tab, and this shows that these 3 orders were triggered. So we want to remove all tracked items. We want to go back to the beginning, then we want to save and close this. We will go back and rerun this, schedule it now, confirm that it's run, and then we'll check our email. There's our new email, and you can see now our numbers have been formatted into currency format with the $sign in front, commas between the thousandth value, and decimal places. That is a quick example of alerts and workflow. Thank you very much.